Good evening. How is everyone?
Evening. So tonight, our team huddle is hosted by me. I am Lynne MacDonald, if you don't know me, and the one and only Rachel Allen, who's there looking just fine. Absolutely fine, aren't you?
Well, I want to be a bit more than fine, unless you mean
Fine as in like the
fine.
word
Okay, yeah. Not
fine.
looking okay.
No, I don't mean she just looks like fine. Like, look at her looking just fine.
Like
She
when your
looks
partner asks you, "You're
fine.
right," and you go, "I'm fine."
No, not a fine like that. It's like a fine.
Yeah.
Maybe if somebody can say fine in a better way than a Scottish accent. So maybe
Oh, she's fine.
I'll use another word. Oh, actually, damn. Like damn. Rachel normally does this. Like you'll see Rach just drop like a post now and not now and again, but like regularly. And you're like, ah, Jesus, look at those legs. It's like a damn. She's a damn girl. Right. Okay. So I have some audience participation. What was I going to ask you? Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. So drop a why in the chat if you have ever wondered what the secret sauce is to this business. If you've ever thought to yourself, I wonder why all these people are so successful. Or what is the secret sauce? A why, not a why. A why as in why for Yankee. You can put why if you want, Catherine. Why, oh, why, oh, why? So, if you've ever wondered what is the secret sauce to this business, why is that person so successful? What is it that they're doing? How come I'm doing all the things and I'm not getting any success? If you've ever wondered what is the secret, put a why in the comments. Why? If you have gone all out so far in August, if you have put everything you've got into your business, if you've been super intentional, put an A in the comments. And this is not up for anyone else to be looking at it. This is your thing. It's not up for anybody else to look at and judge. This is your thing. It's not up for negotiation. It's a you versus you game. Or put a B in the comments if you have brought it, but you know you could have been way more intentional with your business so far this month. And again, this is a you versus you game. It's not about what anybody else thinks. And then write one thing you are grateful for because of Beyond Beauty Club. One thing that you're grateful for because of Beyond Beauty Club.
I
And
was
what
wondering what we were spelling out there. YAB. I'm like, yeah.
and what you'll also notice is you can screenshot what people are putting they're grateful for Beyond Beauty Club and use it as a really great post on your Instagram stories or your Facebook or wherever the heck you like.
Oh, yeah.
Community, sisterhood, collagen, community, you lot, and collagen, community, made some besties, friends. This is cute.
Very cute.
I love it. So, one quick last thing from me before Rach tells you a little bit about the secret sauce.
I'm
So,
just mixing it up as we speak.
Rach and I were speaking this week about lots of things, lots of business things. And everything that we spoke around came back to this topic. And obviously, we all know that there's some non negotiables in this business. We're all posting, we're following up with people, we're reaching out. The business doesn't just build itself, we need to be building the business. And lots of people regularly ask for the secret sauce. Like if a new person comes on board and they seem to be doing really, really well, people are like, what is it they're doing? Or if somebody that's been in the business for a while starts to do really well, it's like, what are they doing? Whereas we all know what the non-negotiables are, and we also all have training all the time around all these non-negotiables. So it's nothing that's necessarily new. But when Rach and I were speaking this week, we both said to each other, do you know what? It's the intentionality. If you could wrap something as a secret sauce around the non-negotiables, it would be intentionality. What kind of intention do you bring when you're doing the business? Over to you, gorgeous kiddo.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like it's so much about the discipline, and it's something that Lynn and I were talking about, and I thought, like, I didn't even think if it was a topic to talk on because it's something that I just feel like is second nature, but it's not. It's a learned habit that I've obviously done over the years that I haven't realized that I have been doing. So we wanted to talk about like the power of being intentional and how you can just be smarter with your time without feeling like you're having to put 1,000 hours into the business to make it work. And that really is the secret sauce, is this productivity. So mindset first, treating your business like a business. If you treat it like a business, you get paid like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, you get paid like it's a hobby. All so many times, so I'm letting people in the waiting room at the same time, all too many times, Sometimes people's efforts and outcome aren't matching up. And if you really had a hard word with yourself, then you can think, like Linda started these questions at the beginning of the call, have you gone all in on your business? And if you can hand on heart kind of think, do you know what? I haven't so much this month, or whatever month it may be, then you remember that when you look at your paycheck as well, because what you put in is really what you put out. So if you treat it like a hobby, then you'll get paid of it like a side income hobby. If you treat it like a business, it can change your life. We say, like, act like a brand champion before you're a brand champion, and watch how your business unfolds. Act like a brand leader. And I mean by doing the tasks that a brand leader would do, committing the time that you would put in, the consistency. Lynne is all about making consistency sexy, because it's one of those things that you think isn't sexy, but I love the way she says this, like, your paycheck when you follow consistency is very sexy. And that is such another bit of a sprinkle into the magic sauce as well. So ask yourself daily, would I keep myself hired if I was my own boss? And I feel like this is a really good one. Like, would your boss think that you slacked off, or would your boss think, she's been committed today, she has been intentional with everything she's done towards her business? Lynne, did you want to chip in on this point?
Yeah, that there's a quote that went around recently, and it said, if someone followed you around and watched what you did and who you were being over the last week, would they think that you were really, really serious about your business? And
Mm-hmm.
I love that, because it's only you that can answer that, like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
your own head, it's kind of like, would they? Or would they just think I was at it, acting it, talking a good game like lots of us do, I love that quote. Love it.
I think when you have like a conventional job and you might get set tasks and you can really clearly see like the outcome of your doing, it's a different ball game to like what we're doing here. So much of our efforts is not something that you're going to see the fruition of for a while. It is just the way it goes. I think Emma said it last week or the week before about that little picture that I see a lot, where one version is of him with the pickaxe going against it and he's like this far away from the gold and gives up, whereas the other one just keeps going and reaches it. You don't see how far away you are from your next, not necessarily rank up, because I'm not just talking about hitting a promotion. You don't see how far away you are from your small win, from the fruits of that labor of what you have been doing. I remember, this is a really weird example, but I had one job that I really struggled with when I was younger, not because I didn't like it, but because I felt like it was never a goal that I could ever fully achieve. And it was glass collecting, right? So I wasn't planning on talking about this story, but I was so buzzing because I could be in a bar at like 16 working at a bar. I couldn't serve alcohol, but I could glass collect. I had this massive bucket and I just walk around this massive building, just collecting glasses, putting them in the dishwasher, putting them back out for all the bar stuff, and then going around. And it was one of the most unfulfilling jobs I have ever had. Well, the most unfulfilling job in my life, because there was never an end to it. It was just a continuous cycle. So you never really felt like you were getting anywhere. And that's when like the discipline, would come in with mindset, not necessarily when I was doing the glass collecting, but that feeling of like you are working towards a bigger goal that you just physically can't see right now. And I feel like so many people in this industry will continuously put effort and time in and then think, I've just done this for ages, I'm just not getting anywhere. So then what they'll do, they quit, they'll back off, or they'll change their routine or change what they've been doing because they think it's not working, and they could have just been on the edge of finally harvesting these crops that you have been nurturing for such a long time. And it's painful to see. I spoke to one of my team members today and I said to her, babe, you were like really like picking up on your sales last month with like collagen and blah blah blah, and you were consistently showing your routine. I've like noticed that you're not really talking about it anymore. And she was like, I know, but towards the end of the month I just started to get a bit less sales, so I just thought it wasn't working anymore. And I was just like, no, you were starting to get orders. Like, it just doesn't work like that. If only we could see the views. And a really good test that you can actually see with your social media is you can do a post about Beyond Beauty Club or Simon or an MD and feel like you get no likes, right? We've all been there, whatever. We don't do it for the likes. And then you could post something that's really controversial, or post something like about your children's success, or something that a really good test for me, right, is whenever I do a new profile picture or one of these pictures that Lynne talks about, where like I'm just
Damn.
I go off social media for not go off social media, but I'm a bit quieter. And then randomly, I've had like a family event, I've gone to a wedding, I've got my picture that's probably taken 100 times to get the right one. I'm loving it. I smack it up on social media, and then I get like, I don't know, 200 likes on it. And I'm like, so people are watching. It's just that you just don't see that they're watching. And because those 200 people have liked the picture, I know at least 200 people have seen my post from a day ago that's about something. So people are always watching. Anyway, classic me, I'm going off on a tangent here, which is actually not great for being intentional for what our call is on. But the second point I want, oh yeah, the yellow dress. Thanks, Marty.
Let me just say something about that, Rach. Can I just say something
Yeah,
about
of course.
Here's what I do about this, right? Because have you ever seen, who here, put a Y in the comments if you've seen the Secret film and the bit where the soil is here and the grass is growing? Grass is growing and it's almost going through the top, but the person stops. It comes back down. And then the grass starts growing again because they start being consistent, but it never actually gets
Really good.
the person stopped, right? Like that's what this business is like. And the way that I do this in my brain, because it's really easy to go to a job, get paid, see the reward. And this business, we don't always see it in that moment. We don't always see it that day, that week, that month, that 30-day first period, right? Depending on what's going on, who we are, and all sorts. So
Yeah.
how I reframe it in my brain is I think, okay, hold on a minute, Lynne. If I was to like, if somebody said, if Dan phoned me and said, listen, Lynne, if you do 90 days consistent game plan of the DMO, here's what's going to happen on day 90. You might not see any of the stuff during the 90 days, but I guarantee you on day 90, you're going to be a brand leader, right? Just make up whatever it is that's for you, fits in with your thing. So don't worry about what goes on, what doesn't go on, what sales you get, what sales you don't get, like who says this, who gets in your way. That's just all part of it. Your job is to fully and utterly like commit to the action, not commit to the result, the outcome that you want, because so many of us look at the outcome and we're like, right, I need 5 sales, I need like 3 new teamies, I need whatever. And because that's not happening when we're doing the activity, we think it isn't working. Whereas starting to reframe it as, if I do this every day for 30 days, 90 days, this is what's going to happen, and convince yourself of that, you'll be absolutely amazed at what consistency does. Because the majority, I remember a top leader when I first started in this industry years ago saying this line, and I heard it and I got it, but I didn't get it the way that I get it now. She said the majority of people in this business are not successful because they are never consistent enough. So when you think of like, I've just spoke to some of the girls in my team WhatsApp, and I said, I know it myself because I can see me when I'm not consistent, what happens in results. And then I saw me when I was consistent with what happened in my business. And I saw more so when I just did 75 hard just a few months back, when I was consistent with that, the difference in so many aspects of my life. But most people never get past the first couple of weeks of being consistent. They're consistent for a couple of weeks, then they drop the ball, they pick it back up again. They're consistent for a week, they drop the ball. They might be like, right, I'm going for it now. They pick it back up for like 3 weeks, they drop the ball. And it's a constant case of picking up the ball, dropping it, picking up the ball, dropping it. And then a lot of people think this business just doesn't work, or this business just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I understand it, right? We can all understand it from a rational point of view, but the way that the business works is purely and utterly on consistency. And it sounds really unsexy, like Rach was saying, but it's super sexy for your bank account. And do you know what? It's super sexy for who you become as well. Because when you keep a promise that you made to you, not that you made to your upline or to anyone else in this business, when you keep a promise that you made to you, whether it's this business or something else, you become a very different person, because you learn that you can trust your own word. And what that does for your own respect, your own self-respect, for your own self-trust, for how you even show up online in your life is massive. But you got to just give it a good period of time. Like I've just started a 90-day game plan with some of my girls tomorrow, and I know that their businesses are going to like change forevermore, because you cannot do a 90-day game plan if you actually consistently do it and not have a massive change in your business and a massive change in you. So sometimes it's just about reframing it. Like when we order something from Amazon, We don't sit every day and think, is this really coming? Is it definitely coming? Like, what's happening? If we book a holiday, we don't think, am I really going to go on that holiday? Like, oh my God, what if I don't go on the holiday? What if the company cancel it? What if there's like a flood in the area? Like, we don't do all that. We start to get organized for the holiday. We buy the clothes, we pack the case, we do the things, we do the DMO. We don't like worry about it and stress about it and look for the holiday to happen like now. Right, we know we're going on holiday, so maybe like view like the thing that you want, the goal that you want, as if I commit to me for the next 30 days or the next 90 days, doing the do every single day, regardless of the results, regardless of what you see, because faith is only really tested when it looks like it's not going to work, right? It's
Mhm,
really easy to be super positive in this business when everything's working, but it's only really tested, and we've all been through that, when it looks like this is never going to work or I'm never
mhm.
going to hit that. But just reframing things in our brain to know that when I do this, this is going to happen. So I'm going to give myself a real good run at this. So that if I do say this business doesn't work for me, I know I've given a 90-day game plan. Like, I know I've done that. And it'll allow you to really, really feel what it feels like when you're consistent and when you reframe the business instead of picking it up and putting it down and picking it up and putting it down, because that's so hard. The pick up,
Mhm.
the put down is just so, so hard.
Do you know what's so crazy? And this isn't the point that I've written down, but I'm just listening to you now. And I feel like some people can listen and be like, oh, she's successful, she's a leader, she's got this, that. But I'm listening to Lynne now. And at one point, Lynne was one of you guys on a call with no team members, brand new, didn't know what she was doing. And she listened to somebody else teaching her this. So if you're sat there kind of thinking like, not it's all right for Lynne, she's a brand leader, like just knowing like this sounds like we have an ego, there's no ego here, but we were you once. Like I was brand new, I had no idea how to do this industry, and I had to learn and listen to the tips of like people that were successful before me. So I hope you can sit there and really think like, do you know what, there's actually the secret sauce is it's consistency and it's being intentional with your time, and we're going to go through some more points of that. But you're not missing anything to be successful where you are now to where you want to be. That you've got everything you need to do that. It is just, it sounds so cheesy, but it's just you believing that you can do it and being so super consistent at something that works. um so number two of being intentional is time blocking, and this is so relevant right now during the school holidays. I feel like Lynn's sick to death of hearing this because Lynne is a home ed mum, so she doesn't have to deal with this. But for the non-home ed mums who do actually have term time and off term time, yeah, I hear you. However, July, and for myself, and not just me, for Carly, for Amber, for loads of us, it was our biggest month, and that was off term time. So don't listen to that story of like why your business is X, Y, Z. Do you know what it just means? You've just got to be more disciplined. You've just got to be more time blocking. And I think Amber said this last week on the call, saying that sometimes when you have more time, you're so more unorganized because you just have too much time. So you don't have to time block anymore. You kind of just think, oh, I'll do that later because I've got all this time. When you're super like restricted, restricted is not the right word. When you're booked up with lots of different things going on in your life, you have to be so disciplined. But it also makes you feel good to have a really like strong routine and like productivity throughout your day. So time blocking, scheduling your business, the same way you would do if you had a doctor's appointment. If you had a doctor's appointment, that's a non-negotiable. If you're seeing the doctor at 9 a.m. on Friday, you're seeing the doctor at 9 a.m. on Friday. Like you have to treat your business the same way. If you book in a call with someone at 9 a.m. on Friday, treat it that way. Use short, focused work bursts. And I'm like this. Some people, and I learned this when I was revising at not uni, even at like GCSE level or something. I remember thinking to myself, I need to cram loads of revision in like 2 hours, but you just start reading the same sentence over and over again. It's just not going in. You can have like 20-minute bursts if you were revising of such solid productivity. And I remember last month, Lynne was having like one of those times that she just felt like she was pushing, pushing, pushing. She just needed to breathe. And for her, it was Gilmore Girls for an hour. And what was it? Ice cream. Like for her, that was what she needed to do. And I remember her saying it thinking, I get it so much. I have my own thing. It might just be going sitting out in the garden and listening to Oasis. Like it's not productive, but it's just filling me back up again. So that when I come back to my business in an hour's time, I'm ticking every single box rather than going on this scroll hole. So many people can think they're being productive and when they actually make themselves look busy, and it's not like you're making yourself look busy in front of anyone else. You're just tricking yourself. Life is busy. Be super focused with like blocking. And Victoria just said it in the chat then, be consistent in whatever fits for your schedule. Just because your upline can fit in an hour here, an hour there, and an hour there your life might look different. So for you, your consistency might be like, my non-negotiables is I'm going to speak to 5 people a day, and I'm going to make sure that I do one story a day of using at least one of my Simon Orion products, like your hero product. That might be your consistency, right? Last one for this point is protect your time. Your time is precious, and you want to make sure that when you do spend time on your business, you're enjoying it and you start seeing the fruits of your labor when you do it. So scroll less, build more. Anything you want to add on that one, Lynn? Also move on to the
Yeah,
next one.
yeah. Like, I want to say that you can be all in your business, but that doesn't mean burnout. All in doesn't necessarily mean you're burnt out. It doesn't mean that you're working 8, 10, 12 hours a day in your business. You can be all in because of your boundaries for your business that you've personally set. So like on a Sunday night, if you schedule your week and you're like, right, that's what I'm doing, an hour there, I'm doing 2 hours there, I'm doing half it, whenever you're doing it. But the biggest thing about that is when you do your business, be intentional of doing your business then, not scrolling through Facebook, not doing all the things, not thinking, just doing the income producing activity. And then when you put your phone down and you're with your kids, be with your kids. And then if you go out on a bike ride, be on your bike ride. I'm just saying that because I've been on several bike rides the past 3 days. So I think what happens is, and I spoke to one of the girls on my team yesterday about this, she said, I feel like I'm doing all the things. And I says, what is it that you're doing? And then she told me, and I says, and what are you doing consistently? And then she told me. So she wasn't doing it consistently, and she wasn't doing all the things that really do build her business. What she was doing was scrolling a lot, thinking about it a lot, reading a lot of WhatsApp groups a lot. And when you do that, you think you're doing the business a lot, and you think
Mm,
you're constantly doing the business, and it feels a lot, and it feels like overwhelm. And then when you don't have the results, you start to question, why can't I do this business? But if you actually just break it down and be like, hold on a minute, what are the income producing activities? And am I very intentional? Like when I do that hour in the morning, am I intentional at building the business? Do I not have any
mhm,
distractions? Am I fully focused on building the business? And then when I've got like half an hour at night or whatever the time it is that you've personally got, am I intentional there? And when I'm with my children, am I with my children? And when I'm with my husband, am I with him? Like all these things are important. Like to show up in your business as somebody that people want to join, we need to feel good. And not all the time,
mhm,
I know shit happens and life happens, but we need to schedule our life in such a way that it fills our cup up, but we're very intentional with our business. And the way to do that is schedule it like a job. But when you're fully focused on it, you'll get way more done. Imagine getting like 2 hours of consistent business building done, and then you're off that day, say, and you've got the rest of the day with your family, but you've done everything from your business because you were super
mhm,
and like intentional, instead of getting up in the morning and thinking, oh yeah, I need to do my to-do list some way somehow on my DMO. Oh, the kid's crying now. Oh, she wants to go out for a walk. Let's go out for a walk. Oh, I'm going to sit down whilst they're like running around going crazy, and I'll do this. And you're just bleh, just blows your mind, right? So it's a
mhm,
case of like, I need to get up early. When will I schedule it that I don't? And if it's less time that you've got, but you can be more intentional with that less time, you'll build your big business bigger than giving yourself tons of time that you've got all over the place, but you're constantly distracted. So I'm getting better at that. I'm not brilliant, but I'm getting much better at like putting the phone down and being in
mhm,
that moment that I'm in that's not to do with the business. And obviously there's never a correct balance or an ideal or a perfect balance all of the time, but just being super conscious that we can get like so much done when we're super intentional and
mhm.
scheduling it like you say. I just think is so important. I think we're kind not sold a dream, but sometimes when we talk about network marketing, you can work from the beach and you can work from the cafe and you can just earn
Yeah,
shitloads of money and it just comes into your bank account and you don't really need to do very much. That's like not the real world, and it's not the
yeah.
real world no matter what level you're in this business either. It does, you don't just get to a level and then never work again. You've still got to build your business. But I
Mhm,
think it takes out, when we're sold the dream, it doesn't include or doesn't remind people that it's still a business, and it's
mhm,
not just passive income that just comes in and you never ever have to do anything again. Like we still have to build a business. It doesn't just build itself, and we still have to be super intentional and
mhm,
disciplined in the time that we're doing the thing, you know?
mhm. I feel like income producing activities is another example of a very unsexy word, but is incredibly sexy for your business. And it's such a simple thing as well. And the reason why it's so defined to income producing activities is because you have to be so intentional with how you do that. So, some examples of where your energy should be going, and we all know this: connecting with new people, following up, sharing your story and products, inviting people to calls, events, whatever it may be, and maybe 10 to 20% of that time checking in with your team. You can build a team, but you still need to be doing income producing activities for yourself, because your team learn from what you do, not from what you say. I'm very much like always trying to set the example for my team and making sure my name is on leaderboards, my name is on this, not because I want to go, whoa, look how amazing I am, because I want to show, listen, I'm right next to you with my shovel as well. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm in here with you and we're doing this together. And if I can do it, you can do it. So don't confuse being busy with being productive, which I fall into that trap quite a lot. Doing things that I know are going to like help my business down the line, but it's not actually in the nitty gritty income producing activities that I can tick off. And what Lynne just said then about being able to separate your time, I'm also working on my work life balance, but not so much, but not just because of working my business, because I think it's just important to show that you're a person outside of this as well. And I had like if anyone follows me on socials over the last 2 weeks, it's been like a massive eye-opener for me when it's like, what else is going on in my life apart from being a network marketer for 12 years since I was a 22-year-old student and being a mum. Like, what else is there going on? And what's so crazy is like my views on social media have probably doubled since I've started to talk about other things. Guys, you've probably seen I've got a kayak. Everyone thinks I'm having some midlife crisis. I always loved kayaking when I was a kid, and I've just got back into it again. And do you know how many conversations I've had with people about it that say, I love doing that? People I never thought would be interested in kayaking, but maybe they didn't think I would be too. But it's not just about the kayak. It's about getting out there, spending time with nature, exercising, having some time by myself, whatever that might be. But when Lynne said, if you have like 2 hours scheduled in the morning, and it means for the rest of the day, you can actually be invested in time with your children or time with your husband or doing whatever, share that as well on social media, because people like to see that there's more to you than just doing the business. And it's not just about because you want to be building the business. The whole trick about this is like relationships, isn't it? I share all sorts. Oh yeah. Victoria, like I can think about so many people that I watch their stories, Carly, Lynne, so many of us that I watch and I think I would love to, if business aside, I'd love to be their friend, or I'd love to hang out with them. They've got a fun life. And that is how I would start building relationships, wanting to potentially ask them about their business or ask them about their products. So confusing productivity with being busy. Do not fall into that trap.
Put in the comments, I'm just going to ask everybody, put in the comments, who are you that's separate to Beyond Beauty Club?
Yes.
But so many of us fall into the trap of like posting just about, oh, I better get up in the morning and post on Facebook, like, buy my shit, like, here's the products, buy it, here's the opportunity to join it. Who are you? Put in the comments, girls, who are you? Do you knit? Do you kayak? Do you bike? Do you hula hoop? Like, what are you? What do you love? Do you read? Like, put it in the comments right now and you'll see. So she's Jessica's an archer.
That's so cool. As in a archery. Is that what an archer is? That's well cool, if that's what you mean.
Cat mum.
I love that. I've just taken up paddle boarding.
Wife, mum, 4 dogs. Wow. Weight loss, outfits, travel, rants.
I love your rants, Victoria. That's probably my favorite thing I watch on your stories. If something's happened, like with your neighbors or something, I'm like, tell me what's happened.
Oh yeah, the paddle, those little small paddle things, like you could play tennis type.
Oh yeah, that's so fun. Oh yeah, I read that wrong.
Because people buy people, right? I mean, this is obviously isn't a social media training, but people are buying people. They're not just buying your product because it's your product. They're buying you. Like Lisa Grimwater, when she did her training at our summer summit, was amazing. She's a mum, hockey teammate, wife, puppy mum, sports, style obsessed. Like there's more to us than just, we are not on the social media as Simon Orion ambassadors. We're on the social media as who we are. And one of the things we do is being a Simon Orion ambassador. So that's so important. Like, we've got to, like, one of the top coaches that I coached with years ago always said, if you want to build your business, go and do things that make you feel alive and talk about that.
So intention creates results. So the next thing I want you to write down.
You're just like, yeah, Lynne, okay, whatever, bye.
No. I'm so conscious. I'm always conscious that I talk for too long. So I just looked at the time and thought, oh my gosh, it's been half an hour. Quick, Rachel, get the. It's my autism taking over.
Look at Catherine. Catherine's style obsessed. She loves shoes. Well, do you know what, Catherine? I never see any shoes on your social media, so you can bring the shoes this week, right? Bring us shoes. soccer mummy, rugby mum, I know that, meditation, sound bath. Oh wow, Michelle, sound baths, paddle boarding. I love paddle boarding. And just be thinking, do I bring it? Somebody's an F1 fan. Lillian's an F1 fan. My God, that's amazing.
We don't know this about you, and we work with you. So, like, think about your people that watch you on social media. Like, tell us more. Like, Catherine, I didn't know some of that stuff about you, and I speak to you a lot. So, like, yeah, we need to see more of this. Or you love baking. I love baking too, actually. I love that. So, one thing I want you to write down, either in the chat or I can't boil an egg. Okay, that's interesting as well. Right, is write in the chat or write down for yourself is intention creates results. This is a little tip where you go to in each your work sessions, sorry, before you go to bed, write down 1 to 3 things that's going to move my business forward. So like either before you wake up in the morning or when you wake up in the morning before you get up in the morning, write down 3 things. What is going to move my business forward today? Write them down and then celebrate each win. I just want you to write down 3 things, but not 3 things like, oh, I need to organize my desk so that it's a clean space to work at, because that's not going to be one of your income producing activities. 3 things. For example, I'm really pushing myself to go Facebook Live. Funnily enough, I don't know what this is about me. I can speak on stage and I can speak on Zoom calls, but the thought of going live on social media is such a weird thing of mine that I need to overcome. And I used to do it all the time. So one of my things is going to be go Facebook Live or Instagram Live, talk about this or whatever. So think about the 3 things that you're going to make sure that you do tomorrow or tonight if you want to get some in quickly tonight, of 3 things that's going to move your business forward. I feel you, Richard, going live. It's such a strange weird. I'm not a shy person, but that for some reason is just something I'm going to overcome because it's going to build my business.
I know it's such a funny thing, Rach, because you're so good, and I've seen you presenting live in front of
Weird.
What?
It's so weird. It makes no sense why I won't go live because I'm not a shy person. I don't know what it. But
No,
yeah,
no, I'm not saying like it's lots of people have that. Like lots of people have it that are very good in like public settings speaking, but it's a funny thing. I had one last thing to share.
yeah.
But 2 last quick thing, one last thing, and then 1 audience participation. Sorry, I didn't know if you were finished doing your little bit
I've
there.
got well, there's 2 more points, but I'll be honest, we are covering them anyway about like whilst we're digging more into it. And as you can tell, the theme of this is just being intentional with your time and like living a life where you can feel like you're being so productive when you're focusing on your business and seeing the results of that just feels so good. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, and if there was a secret sauce, that's it, because we all know the key things that we need to do, right? But are we actually intentional with it? Do we get up and we're like, right, I'm going to do the business then. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Or are we just all over the place and then getting totally overwhelmed and never actually moving the needle anywhere? So one of the things that you said right at the beginning was like, you might be listening to Lynne and thinking, oh, it's okay for her because she's a brand leader and yada, 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 right? But one of the things that got me to brand leader and will continue to build my business beyond every level that I'm about to build it to is this one line. And this feeling inside me of this one line is you go first. So that feeling of like, we can't wait for our team. Even when we've got a team, we can't wait for our team ever, no matter what level we're at, because if we do that, our business drops. So this month, even although when I got to brand leader, if I did nothing, my business would be starting to be dropping. It might not drop right there and then, like that minute, but if I'm not consistently continuing to build it, it ain't going to just grow on its own. I need to be in there with the trenches with my team. So that line of you go first is something that I think about all the time. And I think about it for a few different reasons. I think about it because I need to be actively building my business. So if I ever look at my business and it's not building, I'll say to Rach, like, I need to be recruiting way more. I need more people in the team. I need to be helping them get through faster. I need to be bringing in more personal customers myself. I never think I need to be getting that person moving, that person moving, that person moving, that person moving, because people are going to move that want to really, really move. And if you try to pull people along, you're not a tow truck. Like you can't carry tons of people on your back. People have to participate. I love this line. People have to participate in their own rescue. Like you can't just pick everybody up. It's Jim Rohn says this, I think.
I love that. Yeah, yeah.
I remember what's the exact line, Rach?
Oh,
You
I
can
don't know the exact line, but when you said that, I remember it so well
you
from
can
Jim
help
Rohn.
thousands of people, but you can't carry like 1, 2, 3 on your back. Like, people have to participate in their own rescue. So the thing that I
Yeah.
always think about is you go first, Lynn. Like, you go get new customers every month. You go get new team every month coming into your business. Yes, you're going to help people get through the ranks, but you're still going to be in the trenches, like Rach says, digging. Because I want to be up in those leaderboards, because I want my team to know that I'm doing this with you. I'm not just like spouting information for you to go do all the work. Like, I'm here and I'm in it, and we're in the trenches together. Let's dig. And that's the way I want to consistently always build my business. I'll never sit back. And none of us that are really good leaders will ever sit back, because the business needs to continually to grow and build, and people leave, other people join, some people put tools down for a month, others pick it up. There's never like a consistent, always everybody's 100% all the time. So that's one of the biggest things that of this whole thing for me, that I kept thinking about when you were speaking, and when you mentioned brand leader at first, it was like my head thought, yeah, but I only got there because, yes, my team are amazing, but I also went first. I consistently did
100%.
this. When I didn't have a team, I went and got customers. When I didn't have a team, I went and got a team. When none of my team were doing anything for a while, I went and got another team. When none of my team
Mhm.
were doing anything for a while, I recruited even more. When I didn't have
Mhm.
customers the next month, I went and got customers. And yes, of course, it's not always easy. And sometimes we have dry spells. And I had periods of time where I was looking at Rach on the leaderboard, and I'm like, why is she on this? Like, I'm inspired and I want her there, right? I always want her there. I've told her that, because I think that really inspires me. But do you remember, Rach, when I wasn't getting much customers at the beginning, and I'm like, why is she always on this leaderboard? I need customers. We all have like dry spells. And then I even got to like #1 in the world for customers one month. Do you remember that? That
Yeah, and I'm like, why is she up? I'm joking.
So we all have different. Don't beat yourself up when you're having a dry spell, when you don't have as much customers as last week, or the whole way that we should always look at our own successes. Did I do what I said I was going to do today? Did I do
Mhm.
that? Well, I can
Mhm.
be really proud of myself, and I can go to bed feeling really great. It does not matter what that result looked like on the back office, or whether somebody said you were on a leaderboard. Did you do what you said you were going to do to build your business today? And if you have enough days of doing that, you will not miss a leaderboard. But
Mhm.
to put your success in, did I get a customer today? Did I get a like today? Did I get a love today? No, no, that's not how we do it. We're having tons of fun in this business and doing what we said we were going to do. And when we do that enough days, your business is going to automatically build. But we always go first. So,
Mhm.
like, if there's not enough customers in your team, you go get customers. If their team are not doing anything, you go get new team. Like,
Mhm.
never wait on your team. Like, we just never can do that. We've got to
Mhm.
lead ourselves from the front and lead ourselves first.
I love that saying about doing what you say you're going to do, but like the second part of it is where it's like, I feel like I've gone really bright. Do what you say you're going to do way after the feelings passed, or whatever the specific quote is. And that's so important, because you'll come off this call, for example, I hope, or another team huddle call, and you feel super motivated and you're like, I'm fired up, I'm ready to go. You walk out of an event and you just feel on fire. Like, I need to bottle this up and I'm going to run with it. The thing with motivation is it comes and goes, but you can be disciplined enough to bring your own motivation by doing things that make you feel motivated, such as listening to, I don't know, a morning motivational video or whatever. Like, you can be in charge of building up more motivation, but the truth is motivation can come and go. Discipline is what keeps you moving, and showing up on the days that you do not feel like showing up, that is what's going to build momentum. So you have to be committed to the, not committed, what's the word? You need to be, just be aware that it's normal for motivation to dip. It's normal for the motivation to go like this, but you have to know you're not in a race, you're not in a competition, but you promised yourself that you were going to build this business. You promised yourself that you were going to be successful here. So remember that on the days that you sometimes feel, I'm not really feeling like it today. No, you said you were going to do it, and you're not a quitter, Rachel, Lynne, Katie. You're not a quitter. I'm just looking at people that I can see.
Katie.
I just saw Katie Chapman's face. I went,
Hello.
Katie, shout out, new brand champion. Woo! But
Woo.
being consistent, Katie's a great example of that. So shout out to you, Katie. But finally, just the vision and the why. The brilliant thing about having this why and having this vision is you can always dig back deep to where that is. What's it called? Like anchoring back to why you started, because there was a reason why you said yes to joining this business. There's a feeling that you had deep in your gut when you watched the opportunity video that just made you feel all tingly and goosebumpy and thinking, oh my God, this business is insane. You felt like that, and you owe it to that person that said yes back then to give it all you've got, being intentional with your time, and just trusting that the consistency is going to pay off. The only way you can be unsuccessful here is if you stop, you quit, you stop being consistent, and you stop being intentional with what you want to be doing with your business. So I feel fired up. I don't know about you, Linny Pops.
I feel fired up. And you know what, guys? We were only going to do a quick 20-minute call. So it's now 40 minutes, but I feel it's gone really great. I want to say one last thing. If you had one word to put in the comments of what you got out from tonight's call, please put it in the comments. And it can just be something that makes sense to you. It doesn't need to make sense to everyone else. And one last thing from me, be intentional. Good that you got that, Emma. That was the whole title. I'm glad we got that across.
Thank God that came off.
Fire! Do you know what I heard, just to finish, Rach, was I heard somebody speaking this week, I'm not a quitter. Schedule my time, yep. Keep being consistent, yep. Perseverance, yes, 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 for sure. Don't give up. Obvious, yeah, yeah, I know. Remember why you started.
Love
I heard
that.
somebody saying that motivation is outside of you. You can't control the motivation. It's like you go to a conference and you get motivated. It's something that's outside, but inspiration is inside of you. What inspires you about this business? Like, why are you doing the business? Pop in the comments really quickly. What is it that's inspired you to do this business? Because sometimes we need to remind ourselves of this. We can remind ourselves on a like upbeat call like this, or we can just sit down and think no limits. Vicky's saying direction and discipline with a heap of inspiration. Love this call. But what is it that inspires you? You can actually either share it in her Sophia's daughter. I love that name, Sophia. What inspires you about this business, and remember that regularly, like lock into what that is, because sometimes we look for all the motivation, but that comes and goes. Whereas the thing that inspires you, if you keep hold of that and keep it inside of you and keep the fire going of that, then that's what keeps you going and building. Keep moving in the direction you're going every day. The opportunity inspires, Victoria. I've seen the results on my skin and I love the products. Create my own freedom. Freedom, my daughter. Love it. I think that's a mic drop, Rach. Boom.
Boom.